Welcome back to the Flow into Health podcast. I'm your host, Hannah, and I'm so excited about today's topic. If you're feeling overwhelmed, creatively drained, or stuck in self-doubt, what if it has nothing to do with how much time you have, but everything to do with energy? Today, we're unlocking the secret to balance and fulfillment by working with the first 3 chakras. These energy centers influence your stability, emotions, and personal power, and at least one of them is likely out of balance. You've likely heard of the chakras in relationship to spirituality. There are 7 major chakras. The crown, third eye, throat, and heart are related to our spiritual selves. They tend to be the focus in meditations and other spiritual spaces. But we're focusing on the first 3 today: the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras. These 3 represent how we live our lives, how well we can do daily tasks, and how much we take action versus how much we flow with what happens. One of the benefits of working with these 3 chakras is that once we get them balanced and working well together, the energy moving into the higher 4 increases, and we can have more spiritual experiences if that's what we want. The first 3 chakras are crucial though. Suppose we don't feel safe and stable in our lives, or we lack creativity or confidence. In that case, we're unable to keep up with everything we need to do and work towards our goals as well. These 3 chakras impact our daily lives, and as we improve them, the energy flows more easily. And then life becomes more manageable too. Most problems in our lives can be attributed to a chakra imbalance. That includes both health problems and the general roadblocks we run into in our daily lives. So I recommend noting which associated health problems or roadblocks you encounter and start at that chakra to find the fastest improvement. The first chakra is the root chakra. This chakra is considered red and is located at the base of the spine. The root chakra governs your health, safety, and security, and it manages your day-to-day functions in the world. When it's in balance, you'll feel grounded, have good physical health, and likely have financial stability. You'll be able to set and achieve goals and also feel emotionally stable in your relationships. When it's out of balance, you'll have anxiety and fear about what's happening in your life. You will feel disconnected from others and unable to create the life you want. Some physical symptoms of an out-of-balance root chakra are lower back pain, adrenal fatigue, leg or foot issues, low energy or mental lethargy, and not feeling able to slow the mind and be still. The root helps us find balance in the doing pendulum. On one side of the pendulum, we feel frustrated because we're not doing enough. We have things we want to get done, but we aren't doing them. This is often due to overthinking, which wastes our energy, leaving us too tired to take action. There's also the subconscious mind blocking us. Maybe it doesn't feel safe, or we are reacting to patterns from our childhood. On the other side of the pendulum, we're busy but not doing the things we want to be doing. We're taking care of others or meeting others' expectations, leaving no time for what we truly want to do. In the middle, we're doing the things that we're good at, that fulfill us and feel like our life purpose. We're not striving for anything, we're taking action and it feels good. We take breaks when necessary and don't feel guilty about it. When I think of somebody with a root chakra imbalance, I think of a new mom. When we have tiny little humans who rely on us for everything, we become scattered and anxious, and it can feel like we're in a constant state of survival mode. This is a time in our lives when there's more to do than time to do it, and we must decide what's most important. And with the screaming baby in our arms, the things that need to be done usually have nothing to do with ourselves. If you're a mom, take yourself back to a time when you had an infant needing you to literally stay alive. How you were sleep deprived and maybe your attention was pulled between a young mobile child who could hurt themselves and an infant who would scream and cry until you figured out what they needed. Add sleep deprivation and possibly a career to the mix, and we're in a root chakra imbalance. Life doesn't feel stable, we're exhausted, and we rarely have time to focus on our own health. However, things don't need to be as extreme as life with a newborn to have a root chakra imbalance. Anytime you feel anxious, you can work on your root chakra energy to feel better. Connecting to nature is one of the easiest things to do when your root chakra feels out of balance. You can take a walk outside or be outside with bare feet. I like to water my plants without shoes to connect to the earth. Our anxious energy will flow down into the earth, leaving us feeling much more grounded. You can also do a grounding meditation and imagine yourself connecting with the core of the earth. Imagine a cord traveling from your root chakra to the very center of the earth, and then having Earth's energy flow back up into your body. Decluttering, cleaning, and creating a simplified daily routine can also reduce stress in your life, and that will help you feel grounded in your reality. Moving up from the root chakra, we get to the sacral chakra. It's considered orange and located about an inch below the belly button. This chakra governs creativity, pleasure, and emotions. It shows how you relate to other people, and it's also where our divine feminine energy lives. When the sacral chakra is balanced, you have healthy, fulfilling relationships, express your creativity, and understand your feelings. When it's out of balance, you might feel like your nervous system is overactive or you're operating in fight or flight mode. You feel isolated from the people around you, and you have no way to express your creativity. Some physical issues related to the sacral chakra are low back or hip pain, which can be associated with suppressing the emotions from the sacral chakra. Reproductive issues, bladder or kidney problems such as frequent UTIs, hormonal imbalances, or digestive issues such as IBS, SIBO, Crohn's, colitis, and gut microbial imbalances. Guilt and shame are associated with not fully expressing our sacral energy because we don't believe we're worthy of pleasure or creative expression. These emotions give rise to the inner critic, which constantly tells us we're not doing enough or we should be doing more. We're programmed to give, but it's hard to receive. Learning to receive will improve the balance of the sacral chakra. I want to tell you about a client I worked with. She felt creatively stuck, emotionally drained, and was generally unhappy in her life. Her menstrual cycle was irregular, and she had back pain that made it difficult to walk around sometimes. The interesting part is that both the physical and the mental issues were related. She has 4 kids, and instead of working on the project she was excited about, she spent all her time with them. But a part of her needed something in addition to caretaking. Once we realized this, she started making time for her creative projects, which happened to be interior design. As she made her house and spaces she spent the most time in more beautiful, her health issues also started to go away. So what are some practices to improve the sacral chakra? We can explore ways to express yourself creatively. For me, things like coloring or painting with my daughter, journaling, and crocheting get my creative juices flowing. Do you have a passion for interior design like the client I mentioned? Or maybe you're a painter or a dancer. Even giving yourself 5 minutes a day to do something creative that you love can improve your sacral chakra energy. Besides doing something creative, allowing yourself to do things you love will help balance the sacral chakra. Listening to music that lights you up or anything you love will bring energy here. Another helpful practice is feeling our emotions without acting on them. If something bothers you, can you sit with that emotion until it disappears? The more we pay attention to our feelings, the better we get at understanding how we're feeling in the moment. And then we can stop ourselves before we lash out at our kids or start a fight with our partner. Moving up from the sacral chakra, we reach the solar plexus chakra. The chakra is yellow and located above the navel but below the rib cage. It governs your confidence, personal power, and ability to take action. When the solar plexus chakra is balanced, you'll have self-discipline, focus, and determination. You'll feel empowered, confident, and capable of taking the necessary steps to achieve your goals. When it's out of balance, you might feel powerless, stuck, or angry. If you have an imbalance in this chakra, you may start projects but struggle to finish them. You use a lot of energy getting things going, but you don't see the benefits of completing them. However, you can regain energy by finishing projects through the efficiency those projects created. Anger and powerlessness are stored in this chakra. Suppose you feel angry at the world or society, but you aren't doing anything about it. In this case, you're wasting your solar plexus energy. To balance this chakra, taking action rather than just dwelling on frustration is essential. Powerlessness is also linked to worry. Suppose you're constantly worried about something, but you don't feel like you can do anything about it. In that case, it's likely tied to an imbalance here. Some physical issues related to an imbalanced solar plexus chakra include digestive problems, including food intolerances, stomach ulcers, fatigue, diabetes or blood sugar imbalances, issues of the liver, gallbladder, spleen, or pancreas, nervousness or anxiety that feels like a knot in the stomach. Physical symptoms like food intolerances often occur because there isn't enough fire in the solar plexus to digest certain foods like gluten or dairy. I can relate to having a solar plexus chakra imbalance. As a working mom, I put everybody's needs above my own. If my kids need something, I will drop everything for them. And if something comes up at work, that will always be my first priority. The problem with this is that I always feel so busy, but I have nothing to show for it. When I started my blog in 2020, I was constantly tired. I bought a blood sugar monitor because I could feel the dips in my energy related to what I was eating and my blood sugar. And I was on Zyrtec every day for the past 10 years. I was a typical overactive solar plexus chakra person. As I've energetically cleaned up my life, it's been amazing to see how my allergies are gone, my blood sugar is stable, and my energy is back. I thought there was something wrong with me for years, but I was too busy doing all of the things. So how did I do it? I started to set boundaries for myself, and I scheduled time only for my goals. I move forward on things that are important to me, and I've dropped the things that aren't. I'm not going to say yes to anyone based on guilt. Naturally, as we set goals and start to achieve them, and take the time to celebrate them as well, our confidence increases. If it feels good, you can also work on your posture. If you've ever noticed how slouching at your desk leaves you feeling drained or even a little defeated, you're not imagining it. Your posture directly affects your energy, especially in your solar plexus chakra. When you hunch over, you compress your diaphragm and stomach, blocking the energy that fuels your vitality and self-esteem. But by standing or sitting tall, shoulders back, chest open, you create space for deeper breaths, instantly boosting your energy and mood. The next time you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck, take a moment to check your posture. Straighten up, take a deep breath, and notice how it shifts your energy. It's a minor adjustment that can significantly impact how you show up in your day-to-day life. Balancing your root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras isn't just about feeling more grounded or confident. It's about creating a life where you feel stable, joyful, and truly empowered. These three chakras form the foundation of your energy system. When they're in balance, you can show up as your best self, at work, with your family, and in pursuit of your dreams. But here's the catch. Excess energy can easily overload them, especially when you're constantly juggling responsibilities and emotions. This overload blocks energy flow in your daily life, leaving you feeling stuck, exhausted, or uninspired. So here's my challenge to you this week. Try one small action for each chakra. It could be grounding yourself with a short walk outside for your root chakra, embracing a creative hobby for your sacral chakra, and simply standing tall and taking deep breaths to empower your solar plexus. Notice how these little shifts impact your energy and outlook. And remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. If you're feeling overwhelmed or curious about how to go deeper, reach out. I'm here to help you integrate these types of practices into your busy life without adding more stress to your plate. You deserve to feel balanced, joyful, and fully empowered. Until next time, keep grounding, creating, and standing in your power.